All right, so we're going to go through first rib manipulation and mobilization techniques here. So with our rotation lateral flexion test, if that was positive, or if your patient is really tender through their upper trap, and as you palpate through that upper trap, it doesn't feel like a soft tissue restriction, and you're feeling something, you feel that first rib is restricted, these would be techniques that might be indicated for that. So for our setup for this, you're going to have your patient in prone. I like to use a little towel roll for their head, and we're going to bring them into their end range rotation and extension here. And don't be afraid to lock this out on a patient. I know it doesn't look like it's super comfortable, but most patients can tolerate this position. So once we're rotated and extended through the cervical spine, our setup is going to be a cross hand setup here, and think of like 60% of the manip coming from your hand that's going through that first rib, and the other 40% is trying to maintain that rotation and extension through the cervical spine. So you can come in and you can come off of T1 to help you find that first rib, or you can come right through that upper trap and you find that point tender area and that hard restriction there. And then your manip hand is going to kind of drive or thrust right towards the patient's ipsilateral hip. And then your top hand is going to help, again, maintain rotation and extension and kind of be pointing straight through their ears. And then we're coming here, and you want to kind of pick up the slack a little bit and then deliver your manip like that. And if you don't get a cavitation, that's okay. Typically patients respond really well to this manipulation. If they can't tolerate the manip, another thing that I like to use is just more of like a mobilization with like some cervical distraction in this position. So instead of crossing your hands, you'll uncross your hands here, and you're gonna kind of cup just below the occiput, and that hand is gonna help kind of create a little bit of cervical distraction. And then your mobilization hand will just come again right on top of that first rib. And you can think, again, kind of just driving down towards that ipsilateral hip and mobilizing in that direction while you're distracting usually feels pretty good for a patient, and they can tolerate it well and seems to help address that first rib mobility and the pain that they're coming in